like a little backstory, but I'm going to make it quick, right? You read a health course in school, University of Ilorin to be precise.
Yeah, I did.
You started off as a musician.
I did.
And you started skits.
Welcome to Madagascar.
Yeah. And now you're an actor.
Oh yeah! Hit me!
Why did you decide to do all these things, and why acting now?
For me, that was the best thing to do.
Okay.
Production of skits, designing the thought, the art that goes into the skit production. It's pretty much like a short film, and there's a lot of acting to it, there's a lot of cuts to it, there's a lot of rehearsals to it. It might be a 1-minute video, but it's actually way more than that behind closed doors. So I pretty much felt, or I didn't start off or think I'll be an actor. But when I found myself in production of skits, I realized that I was pretty much not too different from that, and I could pass off as one. And I've had people compliment me on that, and myself, I know I could, have a good run with acting a role, and pretty much that's what led to it.
I mean, I think I'd always known I was a creative since I was a teenager. I taught myself how to play the drums at 13. I was in the church choir. I played drums in my church for 7 years. So when I went to university, I always knew I wanted to do something in music. I actually wanted to be a composer of music, but obviously it wasn't going to happen with my parents. So we agreed I'll do something in the business admin block, and then after I graduate my bachelor's, I can go do whatever I want to do. So I do have an accounting degree. Yes, I've never used it ever. In my sophomore year, I took a theater elective, and I think that's just the genesis of everything. That's why I found acting and fell in love with acting.
How did you come up with Lasisi Elenu?
Lasisi is my dad's name.
Oh.
Yeah, we always thought it was a weird name. Lasisi, it didn't make any, I won't say sense, but it was just funny. So I started to add Elenu from, who has mouth,
right,
to the name to just complement it.
Speaking of that, we all know you, of course, as Lasisi Elenu. You're
Yeah.
funny, Are we expecting something different from this film? You play the character of Timmy in The Razz Guy.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, what do you think are the differences between what we're used to on skits and now this character you're playing?
What we're used to in skits is pretty much Lasisi as the ranter, Sinzumoni, Atomic Bomb, Zadi, and all of that. But I think I've not really given people an opportunity to see me in as Timmy. Timmy who speaks, who's eloquent, who has great diction, who commands respect and all of that. I don't think I've really given people that part of me. So in The Razz Guy, you get to see more of that. You get to see me transiting from point A to point B in a blink of an eye. Just like that. I'm Razz! I think a lot of people would look forward to seeing that.
So I saw the trailer and I saw, of course, as Nigerians, I feel like all of us were a little superstitious in some sense.
My brother, how to go.
So personally, do you think you are superstitious? Do you think that, you can relate on that sense?
My brother, I think we all are, because I wanted to say, I like to think I'm a cool guy, blah, blah. But if I just remember the time when I saw 100 naira on the floor and I did not pick it, Baba, now superstition be that. Because when I thought about the yam, how they would call the yam and blood will come out of the yam, Baba, now superstition be that. So I am superstitious to a certain level, though.
Not really. I think maybe OCD, but I won't call that superstition. It might just, there's some things that I do that might just, I would say it's OCD. It's not really superstitious or anything. Yeah.
For those who haven't seen the trailer, you of course wanted to see, can you tell us a little bit about what the plot is?
Okay, so The Razz Guy is about this lawyer who is very strict with, with grammar.
I would say mean.
He's very mean, especially with people around him speaking the wrong grammar. He's very particular, but he's also, he's more focused about the work and he doesn't really care about personal relationships.
Right.
And for some reason, on this particular day, 3 people in his office, snapped their fingers at him because of the way he was treating them. And he wakes up and then his grammar is gone.
I'm trying to speak good English, but nonsense is coming out of my mouth.
So now he's trying to fix this problem, and he's trying to close a merger with a company. He's also trying to meet his fiance's parents as well. So there's a bunch, it's all chaotic from there for him, yeah.
Working with, of course, the director, the producer of the film, working with Nancy Simeg, you have Frank Donga,
Frank Donga,
yeah,
Shaggy,
T. Doyle, all those
yeah.
people on the film.
Yeah.
How was that bond? How was it? I know that I heard from the producer that this wasn't shot during the pandemic.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. But then, okay, how was that like? How was the bond? How was that relationship?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, there are people I was more familiar with that we get to see regularly. The likes of Lively, Nancy, but Tinamba was there. Frank is a very wonderful guy. You don't get to see him every time. Yes, it made a lot of sense because I think the cast for the film was properly selected. We all had what we were doing there, and it was executed, tremendously. I would say for every character there, there was a time for bonding, justing, getting to get along with each other, and I think the execution was excellent. So yeah, it was nice having them on set.
So what people don't know is this is your first lead role.
Yes, this is it.
So how different was this? Was there a pressure? What was the growth level like?
It was quite different. There was a film we did in 2019. Myself and Bobby. I was his supporting actor. Okay. In I think the title is Raised Apart. But for this one, because I played the lead role, it just gave me a lot of responsibility. I wanted to make sure I gave people worth for their money. I wanted to make sure people, those who naturally like me, have more reasons to like me even more. And those who didn't find a reason to like me, I will be able to convert them and make them my fans. So it was a lot of pressure. I wanted to make sure I deliver. And yes, it was a bit tasking, but I think, Baba, if you watch, I don't know, I'm not going to talk too much now. Me, go watch and I say, like I'm.
Okay. So for those who haven't seen the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little more about your character, Timmy.
Timmy was just a senior colleague in a firm. He was he pretty much had junior staffs under him, so everybody had to listen to what he had to say.
What is wrong with you?
Emma.
You look educated enough for the job, except you're some sort of undercover illiterate.
But in the event of that, he was more of a guy who likes precision, who likes to get things done by the books, who was very careful, eloquent. If he didn't like anything that seemed or smelled or sounded like Razz, so he was a perfectionist. Right. And then it was a big deal for everybody under him because they had to always, come down to his, obey or just listen to whatever he has to say. They didn't have a choice. But then things switch up when the one thing he's constantly trying to avoid, rebukes and everything, finally becomes his major problem. So that's pretty much just the summary of what the film is like.
There's always a moral lesson for every story. What do you want your audience to get from, of course, the film The Razz Guy?
There's quite a lot of moral stories to get from the film. Personally, when I make a film, I don't think of the moral story. Okay. So, but if I think how you treat people around you is very important. And I think that's the main theme of this film. It's treat your neighbor as you treat yourself. But at the end of the day, I make films so that people can be entertained. I always want people to escape. I want you to come, when you come and watch my film, you're coming to escape from reality. Okay. So I just want to take you into another world, have a good time, and release some stress.
First things first, how you treat people. I think this film summarizes how you perceive others. Right. A lot of people would tell you it's the best for you. What I'm telling you would help you. But there's a manner at which you do that shows or says it. When you speak to people in a belittling way or demeaning way, it messes with their psyche. It doesn't say you're helping them. Yeah. So what this film tells you is that no matter who you are, your place, position, learn to show people that level of respect. Because you're the CEO doesn't necessarily mean you're always right. Because you're the CFO or the manager doesn't mean your decision or your idea are the best. Listen to people, learn from them. Do not treat them like trash. Because in the words of a great man, if you treat people like others will treat you like water. I hope I can say that on air. Well, if I cannot, now compound.
Where can we see this film on the 19th? How do we get it?
March 19th. Nationwide, all cinemas around you. Just go find a cinema and go watch The Razz Guy, March 19th.
The film is going to be out on all cinemas or in all cinemas 19th of March, The Razz Guy. Come and see Tammy alongside other actors. It's a lovely film. It has a lot of humor in it.
Oh yeah! Hit me!
has a lot of wittiness, and I think that's just what we need right now in Nigeria, because the hardship is on a different level. The Razz Guy is certainly going to crack you up, put a smile on your face, and if you don't laugh, I'm not just now.
Definitely, I'll be there right there on the red carpet, and I'm going to see the movie firsthand, and you better see it too. The Razz Guy coming to cinemas on the 19th of March, and of course, no Sir Falabi, bad guy, bad guy.
But then I see you money first day. You know as they go. Mama, they call me with my Bensky.
Oh shit!
They come.